الغيب والشهادة والخبير أتتخذ أصناما آلهة إني أراك وقومك في ضلال مبين.
وإن متم أو إلى الله تحشرون.
فإن متم أو قتل إلى الله تحشرون. فبنعمة من الله لنت لهم ولو كنت فظا غليظ لانفضوا من فاعف عنهم واستغفر لهم وشاورهم في الأمر فإذا عزمت توكل على الله إن الله يحب المتوكلين. إن ينصركم الله فلا غالب لكم وإن يخذلكم فمن ذا الذي ينصركم من بعده وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون.
وإذ قال موسى لقومه اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ أنجاكم من آل فرعون.
وإذ قال موسى لقومه اذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ أنجاكم من آل فرعون يسومونكم سوء العذاب ويذبحون أبناءكم ويستحيون نساءكم ذلكم بلاء من ربكم عظيم. وإذ تأذن ربكم لئن شكرتم لأزيدنكم ولئن كفرتم إن عذابي لشديد. وقال موسى إن تكفروا أنتم ومن في الأرض جميعا فإن الله لغني حميد.
Now, Tafsir. Are you ready?
Insyaallah.
Would you please open chapter Al-An'am, verse 111. Chapter Al-An'am, verse 111 to 112. Have you found it?
Yes.
Okay, now would you please read the two verses?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Walau annana nazzalna ilayhim al-malaikata الملائكة وكلمهم الموتى وحشرنا عليهم كل شيء قبلا ما كانوا ليؤمنوا إلا أن يشاء الله ولكن أكثرهم يجهلون وكذلك جعلنا لكل نبي عدوا شياطين الإنس والجن يوحي بعضهم إلى بعض زخرف القول غرورا ولو شاء ربك ما فعلوه فذرهم وما يفترون.
Okay, now would you please translate some vocabularies below? Nazzalna.
We have sent down.
Wahasharna.
We have gathered all.
Yajhalun.
We have ignored me.
Yajhalun.
They have ignored me.
Aduwan.
Enemy.
Ghurura.
As a delusion.
As a delusion. The following question is, would you please translate the two verses into English and give your tafsir to both verses.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Walau annana nazzalna ilayhim al-malaikah. And even if we have sent down to them the angel. So, وَكَلَّمَهُمُ الْمَوْتَى وَحَشَرْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ and the dead had spoken to them. وَحَشَرْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ قُبُلًا. And we have gathered all things in front of their eyes. مَا كَانُوا لِيُؤْمِنُوا إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. They would not have believed to it. إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ, except Allah willed. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَهُمْ يَجْهَلُونَ. But most of them, they have ignored me. So these verses explain.
Translate first, verse 112.
وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا لِكُلِّ نَبِيٍّ عَدُوًّا. And thus we have appointed for every prophet عَدُوًّا, the enemy, شَيَاطِينَ الْإِنسِ وَالْجِنِّ, the Satan from among mankind and jinn, يُوحِي بَعْضُهُمْ إِلَى بَعْضٍ, do inspiring to one to another, زُخْرُفَ الْقَوْلِ غُرُورًا, with adorned speech as a delusion. وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ مَا فَعَلُوهُ, if your Lord willed, they would not have done it. فَذَرْهُمْ وَمَا يَفْتَرُونَ. So leave them alone with their fabrication.
Now would you please give your tafsir to both?
In these two verses, Allah explained that to the disbeliever, in which even though Allah has sent down many the sign of Allah, many the proof of Allah, as explained in these verses, in the verse 111, Allah explained, even though Allah had sent down the angel and the dead had raised up and talk to them, refer to the disbelievers, and Allah, they would not have believed to it. So it has the relation with the verse of Allah in other verse. Khatamallahu ala qulubihim wa ala sam'ihim. And Allah have locked the heart of the disbelievers. So ma kanu yu'minu illa ayyasha Allah, except the Allah will, except, so the key is with Allah. Allah is the key in everything. Allah Allah manage all things. Allah manage all things. It's also about the human being. Then وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا لِكُلِّ نَبِيٍّ عَدُوًّا شَيَاطِينَ الْإِنسِ وَالْجِنِّ. And also Allah has appointed for every town it the prophet and the enemy. So there are two kind of the people, the prophet and the enemy from among mankind and jinn, which the job of jinn means yuhi ba'dhum ila ba'dhin, do inspire one to another. So they dispute or they give some motivation to the mankind to mislead the people. Walau syaa rabbuka ma fa'aluhu fadharhum wa ma yaftarun. In this verse, Allah also explained that we as fadharhum, the believer should leave them. Leave them means leave the disbeliever, the polytheists, about leave them with their fabrication.
Yeah, your tafsir. Okay. Have you found the reason of regulations of these two verses?
As far as I know, I didn't find.
Now, would you please give your explanations about the correlation between these two verses and previous ones?
The correlation between this verse and these two verses and before the previous one is talking about the heart of the disbelievers. وَنُقَلِّبُ أَفْئِدَتَهُمْ وَأَبْصَارَهُم, and their eyes and their seeing and كَمَا لَمْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِهِ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ, they would not have believed it. So the next verses is the continuing of the verses before, which Allah emphasized that back to the disbeliever, they would not have believed to what Allah has been sent down to them.
Okay. The following question. Based on verse 111.
Pardon?
Based on, according to verse 111. The disbelievers and polytheists didn't accept the prophetic of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What are the suppositions made by Allah to make them believe to the prophetic of Muhammad? What are the suppositions made by Allah in order the unbelievers and the polytheists believe and accept the prophetic of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Yeah, as mentioned in the verse 111, walau annana nazzalna ilaihimul malaikah, Allah has sent down the angel in the first, and then the second, wa kallamahumul mauta, the dead had spoken to them, and then wa hasharna alaihim kulla shay'in qubulan, and they and Allah have gathered them all things in front of their eyes. So there are three kind of proof which Allah has given to the disbeliever in order they may believe to Allah. But they didn't believe it.
Okay, and finally, do they believe to the sign, to the suppositions made by Allah?
Pardon?
Do they believe? Do the polytheists believe after knowing the suppositions made by Allah?
Of course, no.
They didn't believe?
They didn't
Okay.
believe. They didn't
Okay,
believe.
now, what lessons can you highlight from the two verses?
The moral value.
Something like moral value or
The moral value that we can take for two verses. The first, we can take the lesson from the disbelievers, which they didn't believe in Allah, even though Allah has has given many proof from them, but they didn't believe. So we can take the lesson. We also, as the believers, should be thankful because we are the part of the people who Allah has given the light for us. Because we Allah because Allah has given us the light and the mercy because we as believers. And then the second, we should know that the job of the Satan is to inspire one to another. So we should be careful to the inspire of the Satan because the job of the Satan is to inspire one to another.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Sadaqallahu.
Sadaqallahul Azim.
Selanjutnya, kami panggil peserta dengan nomor 1318. Peserta 1318 mohon pinggir kering terlebih dahulu, kemudian mengambil makrot. Peserta berikutnya harap mempersiapkan diri, peserta dengan nomor 1308. Dewan Hakim yang kami hormati, inilah peserta dengan nomor 1318 mendapat paket makro bidang tahfidz nomor 37, bidang tafsir nomor 3.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والذين كذبوا بآياتنا سنستدرجهم من حيث لا يعلمون.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والذين كذبوا بآياتنا سنستدرجهم من حيث لا يعلمون وأملي لهم إن كيدي متين. أولم يتفكروا ما بصاحبهم من جنة إن هو إلا نذير مبين. أفلم ينظروا في ملكوت السماوات والأرض وما خلق الله من شيء وأن عسى أن يكون قد اقترب أجلهم فبأي حديث بعده يؤمنون. من يضلل الله فلا هادي له ويذرهم في طغيانهم يعمهون.
والذين كذبوا بآياتنا يمسهم العذاب بما كانوا يفسقون.
والذين كذبوا بآياتنا يمسهم العذاب بما كانوا يفسقون. قل لا أقول لكم عندي خزائن الله ولا أعلم الغيب ولا أقول لكم إني ملك إن أتبع إلا ما يوحى إلي. قل هل يستوي الأعمى والبصير أفلا تتفكرون. وأنذر به الذين يخافون أن يحشروا إلى ربهم ليس لهم من دونه ولي ولا شفيع لعلهم يتقون.
فلما جهزهم بجهازهم جعل السقاية في رحل أخيه.
فلما جهزهم بجهازهم جعل السقاية في رحل أخيه ثم أذن مؤذن أيتها العير إنكم لسارقون. قالوا وأقبلوا عليهم ماذا تفقدون. قالوا نفقد صواع الملك ومن جاء به حمل بعير وأنا به زعيم. قالوا تالله لقد علمتم ما جئنا لنفسد في الأرض وما كنا سارقين. قالوا فما جزاؤه إن كنتم كاذبين. قالوا جزاؤه من وجد في رحله فهو جزاؤه كذلك نجزي الظالمين.
Tafsir. Are you ready? Okay. Would you please open chapter Al-An'am, verse 115 to 117. 115 to 117.
Version Al-An'am.
Al-An'am, verse 115 to 117. Fatammat kalimat rabbika sidqan wa adlan.
115
to 117.
183.
115. Watammat kalimat rabbika sidqan wa adlan. Okay. Have you found it?
I'm sorry, maybe
Chapter Al-An'am, Surah Al-An'am, verse 115. Watammat kalimat rabbika sidqan wa adlan. Tadi 115 to 117. Okay. Okay. Would you please read these three verses?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa tammat kalimatu rabbika sidqan wa adla la mubaddila li kalimatihi wa huwa as-sami'ul 'alim. Wa in tuti' aktsara man fil ardi yudilluka 'an sabilillah iyattabi'una illa dhanna wa in hum illa yakhrusun. Inna rabbaka huwa a'lamu man yadhillu 'an sabilihi wa huwa a'lamu bil muhtadin.
Okay, would you please translate some vocabularies for you? Sidqan.
Pardon?
Sidqan. True. Repeat. Sidqan.
Yes, true.
True. Mubaddila.
Replacer.
Do you have the synonym? Okay, that's okay. Replacer.
Yes.
Tutir. You obey. Yudilluka.
Pardon, please.
Yudilluka.
They lead you astray.
Yudilluka.
They lead you astray.
Yakhrusun.
They lie.
Yakhrusun.
They lie.
Yakhrusun. Okay, right? Yakhrusun.
They lie.
Okay, now would you please translate the three verses into English?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. the word of your Lord is complete, truly and justly. There is no replacement to His word. He is all hearing and all knowing. Wa in tu'ti
As-Sami' As-Sami'
wa huwa as-sami'
As-Sami'u
wa huwa as-sami'u. He is all hearing, all hearer. Al-alimu, and He is all knowing. Wa in tuti aktsara man fil ardi, and if you obey the most men on the earth, yudilluka an sabilillah, they will lead you astray from the path of Allah. Iyattabi'una illa dhanna, you do not follow except a guess. Wa inhum illa yahrusun, and they are none but they lie. Inna rabbaka huwa a'lamu, truly your Lord is knower man yadillu an sabili, man who goes astray from his path. Wa huwa a'lam bil muhtadin, and he is knower the man who get guidance.
Okay. Please give your tafsir to these 3 verses.
Pardon me?
Please give your tafsir to these 3 verses.
I said before that believers and unbelievers is decided by Allah. In this verse, Allah tried to state once again that the words of Allah means that believers and disbelievers was decided before, and there will be there not will be a replacement for this word. And before of this, Allah command to Muhammad that he should stand by his truth. I mean, do not obey the orders except Allah, because even if they are many, probably they will not lead you to the straight path, to the wrong path, because most of them they did not true path, but only guess and investing
Path
life.
or path? Path or path? Allah's path or Allah's path? Which one do you choose?
Alhamdulillah, I think Allah path.
Allah path. Path, not path. Path is the animal in your surrounding.
Sorry.
Okay, please go on with tafsir.
And the last, once again, Allah established that He is knower which one who go astray and who go by the truth of Allah path, and He is knower which one who have the guidance.
Yeah? Okay, do you find any reasons of revelations or historical background of these three verses?
The story.
Do you find any reason of the revelations?
Listen.
Reason of the revelation or historical background?
There's no reason.
Okay. Would you please explain about the correlation between these three verses with the previous ones?
The correlation
between these three verses and the previous one. And the verses before.
Yes, as stated before that even if Allah sent down many miracles, such as made the dead body able to talk, or sending an angels, but if the words of Allah has been decided, it will not matter, because the words of Allah has been complete. Number one. And number two, there is no replacement of His word.
No correlation, not conclusion. Correlation. Correlation between these three verses and the previous one, not conclusion.
The correlation is this verse, this three verse, is as
if the three verses are talking about blah blah blah, and then the previous are talking about blah blah blah.
In these three verses, Allah tried to establish what He said before, that all of the disbelievers and believers, it has been decided before. No matter the miracle will send down or the book will send down, it will not make them change, because the words of Allah, the word of Allah has been decided before, and has been decided which one who will go astray and which one who will go to His path. So this three verses is such as establishment for the three verses before.
Okay. Now my question is, why does our Lord remind the believers not to obey most of the men on earth?
Pardon me?
Why does Allah remind us as believers not to obey the most of men on earth? Why?
Because I can understand your question.
Okay. As mentioned in verse 116, وَإِن تُطِعْ أَكْثَرَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ يُضِلُّكَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. My question is, why does Allah remind the believers not to obey? Not to obey most of the men on earth, most of the men on the universe. Why?
Because Aksara man fil ardi in this verse is dwellers. They will be the dwellers of fire in hereafter.
Okay, because
And it is stated in the word of Allah. So, for Muhammad, Allah tried to inform him, do not turn away your face to them, even if they are many. Because even if they are many, they may lead you in the wrong path.
okay, what lesson can you highlight from these three verses?
Listen.
The lesson, or something like conclusions, or more value.
Number one, we must aware of ourselves from the the people, even if they are majority, we are majority, not minority, because if they are walk through in wrong path, they will lead us to the wrong path. Because even if they are many, their source, their knowledge is nothing but dust.
Tidak? Well, thank you very much.
Sadaqallahul
Selanjutnya, kami panggil peserta dengan nomor 1308. Dewan Hakim yang terhormat, peserta dengan nomor 1308 mendapat paket makro, tahfidz nomor 36, tafsir nomor 42. Peserta nomor 1308 mendapat makro, tahfidz nomor 36, tafsir nomor 42.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حرمت عليكم أمهاتكم وبناتكم وأخواتكم وعماتكم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حرمت عليكم أمهاتكم وبناتكم وعماتكم وأخواتكم. حرمت عليكم أمهاتكم وبناتكم وأخواتكم وعماتكم وخالاتكم وبنات الأخ وبنات الأخت وبنات الأخ وبنات الأخت وأمهاتكم اللاتي أرضعنكم وأمهاتكم من الرضاعة وأمهاتكم حرمت عليكم أمهاتكم وبناتكم وأخواتكم وعماتكم
وعماتكم وخالاتكم وبنات الأخ
وعماتكم وخالاتكم وبنات الأخ وبنات الأخت وأمهاتكم التي أرضعنكم
وأخواتكم من الرضاعة
وأمهاتكم من الرضاعة
وأمهاتكم اللاتي أرضعنكم وأخواتكم من الرضاعة
وأمهاتكم اللاتي أرضعنكم
وأخواتكم
وأمهاتكم اللاتي أرضعنكم وأخواتكم من الرضاعة وأمهات نسائكم وربائبكم اللاتي في حجوركم من نسائكم اللاتي دخلتم بهن فإن لم دخلتم بهن فلا جناح عليكم فإن لم تكن دخلتم بهن فلا جناح عليكم
وحلائل أبنائكم الذين من أصلابكم
وحلائل أبنائكم الذين من أصلابكم وأن تجمعوا بين الأختين إلا ما قد سلف إن الله كان غفورا رحيما
وأن هذا صراطي مستقيما فاتبعوه
وأن هذا صراط ربك مستقيما فاتبعوه
وأن هذا صراطي مستقيما فاتبعوه
وأن هذا صراطي مستقيما فاتبعوه ولا تتبعوا السبل فتفرق بكم عن سبيله ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تعقلون ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تذكرون
ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تتقون
ذلكم وصاكم به لعلكم تتقون
ثم آتينا موسى الكتاب تماما على الذي أحسن وتفصيلا
ثم آتينا موسى الكتاب تماما على الذي أحسن وتفصيلا لكل شيء وهدى ورحمة لعلهم بلقاء ربهم يؤمنون أن تقولوا
وهذا كتاب أنزلناه مبارك
وهذا كتاب أنزلناه مبارك فاتبعوه واتقوا لعلكم ترحمون أن تقولوا إنما أنزل الكتاب على طائفتين من قبلنا
وإن كنا عن دراستهم لغافلين
أو تقولوا لو أننا
أن تقولوا إنما أنزل الكتاب
على طائفتين من قبلنا
وإن كنا
عن دراستهم لغافلين
فلما أن جاء البشير ألقاه على وجهه فارتد بصيرا.
Now at Tafsir, have you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Would you please open chapter Al-A'raf, chapter Al-A'raf, verse 57 and 58.
57
and 58. وهو الذي يرسل الرياح
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وهو الذي يرسل الرياح بشرا بين يدي رحمته حتى إذا أقلت سحابا ثقالا سقناه لبلد ميت فأنزلنا به الماء فأخرجنا به من كل الثمرات كذلك نخرج الموتى لعلكم تذكرون والبلد الطيب يخرج نباته بإذن ربه والذي خبث لا يخرج إلا نكدا كذلك نصرف الآيات لقوم يشكرون.
Okay. Would you please translate some vocabularies below? Ar-riyaha.
Ar-riyaha, flood.
Ready? Flood. Flood, flood. Flood or flood? Ar-riyaha.
Yes, flood.
Ar-riyaha,
flood.
Once more time. Ar-riyaha.
Ar-riyaha, floods.
Li baladin mayyitin.
To the dead town.
To
the dead town.
The dead town or the dead land?
Yes, the dead island, the dead town, the dead ground.
Nukhriju. Nukhriju.
We coming up.
Nukhriju.
We rise up.
Rise and be rising. Nabatuhu. 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 Okay, khobitha, khobitha,
unproduced,
unproduced, unproduced or unproductive,
unproductive,
unproductive, unproductive or unproduced. Which one?
unproductive.
Unproductive. Yeah. Now, would you please translate the two verses into English?
وهو الذي يرسل الرياح وهو الذي يرسل الرياح, and he is Allah who send the flood as a garment between his blessed hand until
Hatta okay. Hatta idza aqallat go on, yeah, until okay, speak freely, speak freely.
until the wage from flame we give rain to the dead tongue. So we send down to him a water. So we rise up with that water every fruit. Thus we rise up the dead, so you will detect it.
And then verse 58.
Wal balakut tayyibu and good corn coming from him, the fruit with Allah judge, and found that bad or unproductive not come everything except very hard. Thus we explain ayah or signs for those who thankful one.
Okay. Would you please give your tafsir to these two verses?
From these two verses, we know that Allah has everything. He has wills to give something, to give bounty to His creature. And He had explained to us the differences between two tongues. One of that is very productive, and one of that is very unproductive. And this is the sign of Allah,
very unproductive land and
very
productive land.
From this ayah, Allah order us to know and understand that He is a greatest one. And also we must give thankful.
Enough, your tafsir? Okay. Do you find any reasons of the revelations of these two verses?
I didn't.
Didn't what? Didn't read or didn't find?
Didn't find.
Didn't find. So you didn't find the reasons of the revelations?
No, there is no reason.
Would you please explain the correlation between these two verses and the verses before?
Yes, وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا وَادْعُوهُ خَوْفًا وَطَمَعًا, and don't make mistake in the earth after reforming that. It means Allah give earth is very, very good for human life. But because of human doing, example, every kid, human did something wrong, so it can make earth destroy it. So from these verses, we must obey Allah rules. We must obey Allah rules, so He will give everything to us. He will give the land, the lifeline, the productive land, as He wills, because we must reform it, and we must do according Allah rules, so Allah will give good land for us, productive land.
Okay. Now my question is, what are the two verses talking about? This is a kind of analogy, right? Okay. What are the two verses talking about?
Pardon me?
What are the two verses? Verse 57 and 58 talking about?
This is talking about Allah's sign.
Allah's sign.
Allah's sign.
Allah's sign or Allah's signs?
Sign.
Sign.
Yes.
What are the signs of Allah which are mentioned in these two verses?
We can say this is signs first.
Okay. What is the signs? That Allah is the greatest. That Allah is the merciful. Okay, right? Okay. What are the signs?
The signs is Allah made the raining from the sahab, from the fruit. So He gathered fruit, and until it will full, it will rain or send down the water. That is a sign.
Okay. What lesson can you highlight from these two verses? What lessons?
Please?
What lessons?
What basis?
What lessons or conclusions?
We must be Allah 7 as the hit. La'allakum tadakkarun. This is must value from this ayah. We can be take a hit if we see everything among us. And these verses talking about Ariyah Bishran by Rahmati. And also from the verses 58, we must be thankful one. We must grateful for Allah's bounty, because He take a bad land to be a good land, from unproductive land to the productive land. We must take a heed, and we must thankful.
Yeah? Okay, thank you very much.
Sadaqallahul Azim.